rested after a chill out day yesterday, he said. I could mention Paul Nicholson won 4 of his 4 matches on Tuesday. Stand corrected, actually. He lost to Andy Jenkins, but due to Andy Jenkins getting whitewashed by Aaron Monk, having an inferior leg difference of Paul Nicholson, it was Paul with 3 out of 4 that won the league phase. And he's unlucky with a bounce out there, 120 for Paul Nicholson. Even leg 1. So Jason Askew qualifying for the UK Open. He had a steady run there. He got to the last 96 where he got £1,000 for his efforts, including a victory against Roby John Rodriguez en route, losing out to Jelle Klassen, who had a fantastic run at the UK Open. Yeah, we saw Jelle Klassen get to the quarter-finals, beating Gary Anderson en route, and lost out in a last leg shootout to Daryl Gurney. But good to see Klassen playing well again, who's had his trials and tribulations, but had some surgery on his wrist and he's back playing well. Nicholson's been playing pretty steady over the last 10 days or so. He's first to a finish. 116. He may look at treble 19 as his first port of call. He went in treble 7 first start, and almost corrected with the treble 19 and double 19. So Askew now, 85, 20, the bullseye. Bullseye for the opening leg. Just the wrong side. So both players have missed a double to get the opening leg on the board. Yeah, expect Paul split now, 2 double 16s. So 2 at double 16. It only needs 1, so Paul Nicholson holds through in the opening leg. Jason Askew did have a poke at the bullseye, but courtesy of having the darts, Paul Nicholson holds through. Askew, though, has settled to this format pretty well. On the opening day, he beat Paul Nicholson 5-1. The 92 average. He averaged 93 against Aaron Monk, defeating him 5-4. 92 against Andy Jenkins. And he lost out to Rob Collins. That was his poor worst game of the day, dropping to 83. But he's generally around that 92-93 mark. Even in defeat to Jared Cole, he averaged 90, almost 91. After losing 5-0 in his opening game yesterday, Jason Askew did manage to defeat Aaron Monk again, beat Andy Jenkins, and this time gained revenge over Rob Collins. And that was his best average of the tournament, 97.44. So he's playing well, Jason Askew, and like I said, his 2 defeats have come to the 2 gentlemen that sit in the bottom 2 of the league, Jared Cole and Rob Collins. Turn here. Just a 60, so we'll see Paul start on the ball for sure. A 25 gives him treble 19. Yes, I think he slipped into the 2 on his first start. He did, so rounds off to 90. Askew to level up. Tops. He misses. He had 1 dart in each leg, Jason Askew. Paul's going to get 2 at double 15 for the break. That's a bit way with that one. Second dart. He can't capitalise. Opportunity missed. Did the hard part, getting the treble 20. Jason Askew capitalises. 16 dart hold, and we're level at 1 apiece. Coming up after this. It's the basement battle. Rob Collins versus Jared Cole. And then we see yesterday's winner in our third matchup, Aaron Monk. Gentlemen, throw in now, Jason Askew. And we see the first maximum of the match goes to Jason Askew. And back-to-back 40s to open this leg for Paul Nicholson. Jason Askew's complete control. Would expect to break from here, but let's Paul back in if Paul can hit a big score. Better. Probably needed more. Yeah, so Jason's let Paul off here. A 180 followed by a 60 and a 27. So if Paul's got to be thinking 1040. In front, but Askew's got to get back in that red bit. Paul return off a 180 opening visit. 9 darts. $151 scored, so Paul down to a finish for, well, not down to a, Jason Askew has left the biggie, and it's on. Bullseye. And he takes it, and what a finish from Jason Askew. Started with a 180, finished with a 170. Didn't hit a great deal in between, but he takes out the big fish to break through. I was just about to say, we've seen Paul Nicholson already hit that this week at 170, but it's Jason Askew who hits at the crucial time. He leads by 2 legs to 1. Good start from Paul. Good last dart from Jason Askew. We saw his stablemate, Richie Edhouse, in action last night. He played well, Richie. And he's third in the end, with only 1 victory, but he played some real good darts. He was ruthless in his last performance of the day, defeating David Evans, and at times was unplayable in Scott Mitchell in the early stages, taking a 3-1 lead, but eventually being pegged back and losing that game. But if he tightens up on the doubles, Richie Edhouse, he's going to be a tough player to beat in that group. Double 16, it's his Achilles heel really, but his scoring was there. Looking like a 3-1 lead. Tops for Askew. Yes, good dart again from Jason. Consolidates that break and leads by 3 legs to 1. Only 1 maximum in the match so far. That went the way of Jason Askew. Confirmation of yesterday's table. This isn't the overall table, this was yesterday and Paul's day off. Aaron topped the league with 3 wins out of 4. Askew was second, but a massive leg difference advantage. 10 legs. 11 legs difference for Aaron Monk. We saw Jared Cole in third. Andy Jenks finished fourth. Collins, bottom of the table with no wins, so he needs to get going, Rob Collins, because he's only run 2 and he's got his day off still to come. The second maximum of the match, and it's the second one for Jason Askew. Paul's got to be careful here. Could be looking at a repeat scoreline for winning the net earlier on in the week. Only 60. Askew will think he's got 6 at 161 if he needs him. He's just taken out a 170. Not going to take a 161. Finds a treble 18 with the last start. Paul may start a treble 19. There's one. He needs another one for double 60. He finds another one. There's another 10 plus finish coming in. It is. Massive finish from Paul Nicholson. And he needed that. He stays in touch. Still only one breaker throw. Jason Askew knows he's got the advantage of that breaker throw courtesy of that 170 finish. 2 more holes to throw. And he's home and dry in the opening match of the day. Visit from Paul. Back into the leg.
139.
Okay, so that 139, Jason Askew down to finish. Paul can't leave a finish now. Let's pick off a treble 18. He's in touch, but Askew has 6 at 167. There's a dream. We only need 3. Now he sensibly stays up, so a 7 or a 15. Good darts from Jason. Visits of 135, 60, 139, and 135 leaves him a double 16. And his average up above the 101 mark now. Paul with a turn, but you feel it's not going to be enough. It isn't enough. A 13 dart hold, and Jason Askew now is in within 1. That's another victory in the Icons of Darts Live League. He's played 8 matches. This is 9th. He's won 6. Good performance. And now Jason Askew will fancy his chances with another big visit to get the job done in this leg.
60.
Only 60 though, so chance now for Paul. Probably needed a little bit more, but that's okay at the minute. It's all on Jason Askew here. He leads 4-2. Oh, unlucky there. treble 19 with his second dart, went for another one and knocked them both out, so only a score of 20, so Paul has the advantage. A reminder that the Modus Icons of Darts and the Night of the Darts live leagues will keep coming at you. Today, tomorrow and Saturday, we break on Sunday, we're back on Monday. Paul drifted into the one, you could hear the frustration because he hit the treble with the first dart. Another one would have left double 12, but he's in a good position here.
59.
Yeah, a good opener from Jason Askew, but 12 darts with no treble. He was unlucky though. With 2 treble 19s hitting the floor. But he's afforded Paul Nicholson the luxury of having 6 darts at 66. It's double 16. And he's going to need the other 3 darts. Askew will be just hit a turn 40 to apply a little bit of pressure. And he does exactly that, but you've seen Paul hit 32 on a 1-4-6 combination already in this match. And he hits it first dart here, so making Jason Askew throw for the match. Jason starts with a ton. He'll be saying to himself 15 darts he'll feel will be enough. Forcing his opponent to go out in 12 to keep the match going. Yeah, Paul finds a treble. 2 tons. Feel a 2 treble visit on his next visit, Paul, is needed just to ramp up the pressure even more so now. This would get him down to a finish. Not the time to be slipping into the 1 segment. 63 scored. He does tidy up. That's good darts from Paul because frustration could have crept in. It's not enough to leave a finish, but Askew not doing a lot there. He does leave a finish, but it's a biggie, so Paul will sense the opportunity. 1-3-8 would be ideal. Take a turn now. No, he switches to 18, that's okay. That leaves him 84. But will he come back? Askew tops of the match. Oh, and he just misses. He had a 170 earlier on in the match. Could have followed it with a 160. Paul has to make sure he gets that minimum dart out of bullseye. 14 for the ball. He didn't even attempt the treble. And he just misses the bullseye. Good effort, but could be the last darts Paul throws in this opening match. Double 10 now for Askew. Double 10 still.
20.
Match darts missed, 3 of them. Paul will return for 25. If he can hit it, he has the darts in the deciding leg. Double 8. Oh, double 4. That's close. And he misses. What an opportunity for Paul. I don't think he'll get another one. Will he? Double 5. Always awkward. 6 match darts. Come and gone for Jason Askew. I think he thought that was in. Paul's got to do his bit. He's down for double 2. Both players getting edgy. And Paul picks off double 2 with his last dart. 21 dart breaker throw, but a break nevertheless. Paul will now throw for the match. See 7 match darts. Jason Askew missed one on the combination for the 160.
83.
Both a little bit cagey, both finding a treble, but both slipping into the one segment in this deciding leg. Only 60 for Paul. In a real good game, this. Couple of maximums, both to Jason Askew, but we've seen a 170 from Jason. We've seen a 146 from Paul. You feel Paul needs just a little bit more there. Not massively punished from Askew. Askew's been involved in 3 last leg deciders all this week. He's won them all. 2 against Aaron Monk, 1 against Rob Collins. Can he do the same here? He's first to a finish. Paul Nicholson has hung in there well in this match. Has outscored at times, but took that 146 just to hold on to the coattails of Jason Askew in the 5th leg. He hits a 134 to leave himself 41. And unless Askew can produce the Shanghai here, and he's not going to. 60 score. Paul Nicholson's going to get 2 match darts, more than likely at double 16. Just taking his time. He's gone in double 9, yeah. 23 remaining. Likelihood now 7. Double 8. He should have had 2 match darts. He's only going to get 1. He misses. He made a real mess of that Paul, and he dug in so well. Just careless with the dart at the 9. And Askew punishes his 8th match dart. Paul Nicholson did have a match dart, but he made a real mess of the 41 combination. But it's Askew again who wins a last leg decider. He's won all 4 that he's played in this week, and he's now won 7 out of 9 matches. Askew close out victory by 5 legs to 4 with another fairly impressive average.